guys, it's Maymay, and Tuesday of last week I did this little card with this little expectant mom, and you guys seem to really like it. Well, naturally, it got me playing around and thinking about other things that we could do like this, so let me show you what we're going to do today. Today, we're going to do a card with the mom after the baby has already arrived. So I was thinking this would be a great thank you card, but I don't have a stamp set with me that says thank you. I'm still traveling, so I didn't have a stamp set with me to use thank you. So I did this little bundle of joy, which I think is super cute. And when I get home, I can do thank you on the inside of the card. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our little expectant mom and she's gonna have the baby. So then here's your congratulations card and she'll have her little stroller and she'll everything, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to make the transition from this girl to this girl, all right? And again, we're gonna do the boy version in the video like I did before. So let's start with punches. Now in my last video, I did this very detailed, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link above here in this video in the little I card. I'm gonna link you to that video, and I'm also gonna put it in the description below. So if you want to go see the gist of how to make the girl, I go watch that video first. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to assemble her with the changes. So both videos will work together, okay? So I'm using, for the most part, a word window punch from Stampin' Up, a 1-inch circle, a 2-inch scallop circle, a 2 by 1 3/8 oval punch, a heart punch, which is just in my stash, and a scallop punch, which is also just from my stash, okay? So that is what we're using to create this whole little card. And now we're gonna go step by step and do it. Now for the most part, you're gonna assemble this girl just like you did the other one, except for her dress. So for the mommy, we're just gonna change her dress a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna put a little glue here in the middle of this bottom portion of her hat. Again, I teach you how to do this exactly in the other video that I have linked. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of assemble. So there's her little hat there, okay? Let's go ahead and do her head and hair. There's her little head, her hair, okay? And again, with the hair, I like to drop it down just a little bit below her chin. So it has a little bit of separation there below her chin, okay? And then this gets glued to the hat. And the hat hides all of that at the top, so we don't have to stress about that. And you want the hat kind of low and at a little bit of an angle because she's going to be looking into the stroller, looking at her new baby, okay? So there's her little head, so I'll move that out of the side. Now let's go ahead and do her dress. Okay, her dress is super cute and fun, but there's a little bit we have to do. We're going to isolate 2 circles from our scallop at the top, okay? So these 2 are going to stay. They're not going away. At the opposite of it, we want to keep 5 scallops, all right? So here's my 2 at the top. This is 1 that I want to keep, 2, 3, okay? And this is 1, 4, 5. Does that make sense? So I'm coming straight down from my 2, and I'm going to count 5. So 1, 2, 3, and I need 2 on the other side to get 5. So what I'm going to do is take my scissors, and from this one, which is my furthest out point, I'm going to cut a little tiny curve to the top side of one of those 2 I isolated at the top. I'll show you this in just a second. It'll make more sense, okay? I'll lay it down for you to see it. I'm going to do the same thing here, but remember, I want 5 scallops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go next to that second, and I'm going to do a curve. So for you to see it a little better, I'm going to put these guys back. So there's that one, and here's this one. And you'll see that one side you'll have 4 scallops you cut away, and one side you'll have 3. That's okay. We want the shirt to kind of kick out in the back, okay? So that is her little shirt. That's the biggest difference, because on the other girl, you know, we made a tummy and her little chest area. Here we're not doing that. Now let's get her neck. Now in my previous video, I show you step by step how to do her little neck, and this is done using that word window punch. But again, like I said in that video, you could do this just by cutting a strip of the paper that's the same color as the flesh that you used on her, or your flesh color paper there. So I want the neck to have a little bend to it, because again, I want her looking at the baby in her stroller. Little glue at the bottom of her neck, and this is where her little shirt goes on, okay? Now we need to do arm and sleeve. I did a sleeve on that one. I thought it needed one. Now for the sleeve, I let the word window punch do the work. I took a little scrap of paper, I slid it into the side of the word window punch as long as I wanted my sleeve to be, and I just punched that. And that creates the perfect sleeve. Now, if you don't have a word window punch, surely you have something in your stash you can make this happen with. But look how cute that is. It's a perfect little sleeve, which we're going to pop up in just a second so you can really see it. I'm breaking in here to tell you that you can get that same sleeve from using one of the little scallops on your circle punch as well. All right, arm. Let's talk arm. I did her arm exactly the same as in the previous video with the oval punch. This one we have to kind of hold on for a minute before we put it on, including the sleeve, because we need to make the stroller and make sure where that's going to go before we just start attaching this together. But we can go on to her legs and things. So we'll move that out of the way. Let's do her legs and feet and shoes. So legs, just like in the previous video. Glued together like so. Little glue at the top. And then remember, you want to kind of make sure you don't get her too tall for the size card you're making. So if you need to bring your card base over and kind of check it out, you can. So at this point, I am just right. I'm going to add her legs and shoes, and we'll be ready to move on to the stroller. All right, her little legs, they come from the word window punch. Here's one. Slide that over here, like so. And here's two. Slide that here like so. All right, then her little shoes come from that Martha Stewart hydrangea punch, and she's gonna have pink shoes this time. I had some extras and I thought I'm gonna use these up because these are from some of my practice and I didn't want to waste them. One thing I did on this last little girl, which I thought was super cute, was I kind of tucked the back of the heel under her pant leg, and it's really cute like that. So if your shoes end up being a little too tall, don't stress, just tuck them under her little pant leg. That's what we would do with our own shoes. They're not always, you know, they don't show our whole pant at the bottom. Our shoes kind of have our pant leg laying over them. So there we go. All right, she's ready for her stroller to be attached to, so let's get that one made. So the stroller is super fun. You're gonna start with a 2-inch scallop circle, like a lot of everything we're doing starts, okay? So 2-inch scallop circle, and all we're gonna do is cut it in half. We're gonna use both pieces. We just need to cut this in half where 2 of the scallops meet in the middle, if that makes sense. That way you have the same shape on both sides. Then what we're gonna do, we want the bottom of our buggy to be like this. And because the opening is facing Mom here, we're gonna take this second piece and we're gonna overlap it and glue this down like this so that it's open. However, we want to do a little decorating first. All right, let me show you that. So for decorating, I'm going to use this little scrap of paper and my scallop punch. And I want to show you. I'm going to use the trash of the punch. You know, we've talked about this before, like the negative space. I'm going to use that piece that it chops out when we do the little punch, right? So there's one. I'm going to get myself 2 of these. So I'm going to flip it over and do the other side of my little scrap. So now I have 2 little pieces of trim for my buggy. I'm trying to move this out of the way. Here we go. My work surface is crowded. Okay, so these 2 little trim pieces, I'm now going to stick on the end or the edge of these 2 circles. Yes, they're going to overlap. That'll be fine as far as when we put this guy together. So I'm just going to put this down here, and these fit just right. So there's that one. Okay, just for a little extra trim, and we're going to do the same thing here. Okay, I've got my trim on. Now I'm going to come to 2 scallops, this one and this one, and make a little V shape with my glue. And then we're going to attach 2 scallops on top of 2 scallops. In other words, we're going to line up 2 of our little scallops on top and just let them overlap. It's going to look a little bit like a fancy Pac-Man, but it's cute like that. My first one I didn't do this way. I want to show you. On the first one, I did kind of the same process, but I just ran a strip across and ran a strip up and just cut that little V shape out. And I don't know, I think this one looks better, but you can do whichever way you want. If you just want to do a scallop circle and cut 2 of the pieces out, that works too. I want to try it both ways, and I kind of like this one better. All right, this guy now needs wheels and legs and a handle. Because I don't want my wheels to sit just on the bottom of my stroller because she's taller than that, I'm going to make this little piece to kind of give me some room. So I'm going to punch about half of this 1-inch circle out of this brown paper. And I don't need this piece. I actually need this piece. And I'm going to make another one of those little kind of slices like we did her sleeve. And I'll show you what I mean. Get that off. So I'm going to make another one of these guys, okay? And this is going to be what we're going to put under here to hold the little wheels. Now you have options, okay? You can do it just like this and glue this on and then put your little wheels right here, and that'll be what holds your wheels on. Or you can do like I did on the other one, and let me show you what I did. I cut this in half in the middle, close to the middle, and I turned mine out. I don't know, I thought they were cuter, and I also thought I could get my wheels closer together if I did them like this and then sat this little guy on top of that. But you can do that either way you want, okay? And let me show you in this one so you can see what I'm saying. See how I turned those out? I like how that looks the way they're out like that. It also kind of could be a barbecue grill. I wasn't going to say it, but I just did. Okay, so let's attach these guys to the bottom of our stroller and get them lined up. Put a little glue here. Little glue there, put our stroller down. And I do like for them to show a good bit, like I want to be able to see them. So it's all right to have them kind of hanging down there like that. And then we need our wheels. So wheels are just 2 1-inch scallop circles. See how that just kind of extends it down so we can have a little taller stroller. And that's what we need for our little girl because she's tall. All right, here we go. We're going to glue these guys on. You kind of want to try to get them pretty even because they're going to be at the bottom of the card. So that's pretty good. I'm not going to stress about that too much. And then on my other card, because I thought this was too much blank space, and again, I think I told y'all this like 20 times in my last video, but I'm traveling this week. I'm actually at youth camp, and so I brought some things with me, but what I didn't bring with me was a smaller circle punch. So if I were at home, I would use a smaller circle punch and in the middle of these just do another circle. But since I'm not, I decided I would put this little heart in the middle and it seems to work just fine. So a little bit of Scotty there in the middle, some little foam tape. And then I'm going to put this little heart up. I thought this would be, it just put something in the wheels. It needed something. Again, it's not exactly what I would use if I had all of my supplies, but there you go, little hearts. Now we need to do that handle that's going to stick out. And you guessed it, we're doing it exactly the same. We're going to go back to that same scrap. This is what's left over from what we just did. I'm going to take this little guy right here, and I just need a little curve. So just a little sliver to give me a little curve. That flew all over the place. So there it is like that. And this is going to be my little handle. So you see how that just kind of comes out just like that? And it can go either way. It can go this way and be kind of thick where her hand is, okay? Or you can turn it this way. You turn it over like so. And it can be thin where her hand is. So either way you want to do it, I'm going to do it thin. So I'm going to put a little glue at the base. And then I'm going to stick this down to our little stroller. Just like so. And then we'll be ready to attach mommy to this as well. So this is where the arm comes in. So I've actually cut a base that this is going to sit on for my A2 size card. So what I want to do is do kind of a dry run and see and make sure everything is where it needs to be. Okay, because I don't want to have everything falling off of my card. I'm going to bring her out as far as I can bring her, and this as far as I can bring it, and then we're going to put her arm in this area. The first thing I want to do is put a little foam tape on the back of this little sleeve, because I do want to pop it up, because if you don't, because I'm doing all the same color, the sleeve and the shirt, it kind of blends in. So just a little foam there, so that'll be ready for us. Now what I want to do is line this up. I can line these up exact like this, and then cut away what I don't need. Or I can scoot this around and make any adjustment I want. This seems to work for me. I want to show you where I'm going to put her little sleeve. Her sleeve will go like this. All you want to make sure of is that her arm is coming out of her sleeve. Here's what I meant by adjusting it. If that arm is too thin for you, that one feels pretty thin. I'm going to slide it a little bit. I'm going to move this down just a little bit, and I'm going to trim this off as well. I want a little thicker arm on our little mommy. This is the only part I felt like even in the last one that you kind of have to do some ciphering on, kind of figuring it out. But see how much better that looks to be a little thicker, okay? So I'm going to move my sleeve out of the way now. I'm going to take my little snips, go right in here and snip this extra away that I don't need. And then I'm going to glue this arm down. Make sure I got that placed where I want it. Little glue on the back of the arm. And then I just want to get the arm to be pretty much where I want the hand to end. I am going to trim that a little bit, but we're getting close here. So now I can peel the back off of this foam. And I can place it right on top there, just making sure my little arm comes out of the sleeve. Perfect. All right, let's get them ready. Now what I'm going to do is come where the hand is, and I'm going to trim this piece to fit. Just overhangs a little too much, okay? And I think we're ready to put a little hand on. All right, the way I did the hand on this one was a tiny bit different. We'll move this out of the way and show you. I still used the heart that I used before, but I did a couple of things. One was on one side, I just kind of thinned this little side out. Okay, I just took a little bit off. And then here, I just made a small little triangle piece. If I were at home, I would probably just use a small circle punch for this. But since I don't have it, I'm just making do with what I've got. All right, so these guys can now get glued down where they are. And the first thing I did earlier is glued the hand to the stroller. This is the first place where I've put this together, is right here. I just felt like that kept me on track and kept me from getting off of my size where I need to be. Get it all lined up and then sit that down. Good deal. Now I can take the little hand, put in a little dot of glue on top, and drop the hand down. Just like that. Now the hand's not perfect. It's pretty good, and it looks kind of like a little like it's grasping the little card. And now we just need to put foam on the back because I want to pop this up on my card. All right, I got all the foam on the back, and now we can place her onto our card and get ready for the sentiment. How stinking cute is this girl? I love the idea of her having the baby, and now this is a thank you card for those who sent her a card before. Isn't that precious? And this is where the little bundle of joy goes. Let me show you how I did that. Sometimes you discover things when you don't have your supplies that you really like, and I think this is pretty cool. So I'm using some VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and this is a piece of the Tim Holtz watercolor paper. It's the thick watercolor paper because I had some out playing with it today, and I had a strip that I messed up and I didn't want to waste it, and I wanted white for this, and I thought, let's just do this. So I'm going to stamp Bundle of Joy on here, but this may not stamp solid. It did, but it might not have because it was watercolor paper. And I would have been okay with that. It was really cute a while ago when I did it. So now what happens is this little guy goes across here. I also love this idea of running this across the corner of the card like that. That is so cute to me. So I'm going to put a little glue down here. So I put a little glue down, a little on the page and a little on the piece. I want to make sure that I get it glued down really well. So something like that. And then what I did was I turned this over and trimmed these away. Trim that away. And honestly, I did this because I didn't have a lot of room, but I really like how that turned out. I think that is a super cute way to do a little banner across the top of the page. So there's our little boy mom, and this is our little girl mom, and they're so stinking cute. I think they're so cute. This has opened up a world of ideas for me. And you might even notice that this is pretty much how we started. Like you can see here how we started with the diaper bag in the last one. It's so cute. I love playing with punch art. I hope you guys are enjoying this. This one may be my favorite I've done in a long time. And there's more to come. Maybe not right away, but I feel like there's some Christmas punch art in me for next month. You guys get excited because Christmas in July is right around the corner. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you try this, and I hope that you do, share it with us over on our customer gallery at maymaymadeit.com. And just a heads up, we're working on another contest in our customer gallery for next month for Christmas in July. So be sure to head over there and check it out so you'll know how to post your projects so you can be included in that giveaway. There's actually going to be a lot of giveaways on a lot of platforms for Christmas in July. So just be present. Matter of fact, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of that. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.